Pamela J to the main office. Pamela J to the main office. Pammy, you could come up now, sis. We'll get the show started. You could come up now.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Often imitated, never duplicated. DirtyKenzo Productions.
What up? What up?
Well, I guess your mic's working. What up, sis?
Did you
I was
hear
gonna
me?
say, is the mic working? And she's like, what up, what up?
What up? What up?
My phone's going crazy as always and playing the end of the intro.
I was
You know
like,
how we
what?
do over here. Invisible music. Go, go, go.
It
I got
happens
the whole
all the
fucking
damn time.
the whole intro is still playing. There we go. And we are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Convos. I am Murph, aka the Dirty Kenzo. To my right, my beautiful wife, Queen Kellz. Up here on the panel with us, our beautiful third partner in crime, Pamela J. Hope everybody is having a good one. Salute everybody. Sorry about last week. I was just beat by fucking 7:10. I was just like debating.
I
I'm like,
know.
babe, I'm falling the fuck asleep. Then, of course, by 8:15, me and Kellz are like up watching TV. I'm like, we could have went live, but
I know.
we here anyway.
I know. I just
Ay, ay,
I
ay.
came. I put my phone on the charger and said, "Let me charge it full charge before I even get on."
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's what mine is at 94, and I thought it was dying when it was charging. I could have swore my phone was super like. I could have swore I was at like 75 when I got home. Then I plug in my phone and it's at 71. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then I check it again and it's at 80. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. But anyway, let's give Queen Kellz the floor. She can say hello, quiet as a mouse over here.
Hello.
Oh, Queen Kellz, ladies and gentlemen, our straight man, our straight man.
Oh my
Salute
God! I got the
everybody.
giggles tonight. It's
Hey,
almost
that's good. That's what we're here for. This is
almost-
Convos, everybody. Pamela J, Murph, Queen Kellz. We talk about this shit no one else wants to. Critical thinking and common fucking sense, as rare as that is anymore. And we like to have fun. We like to just let it flow, let it go, and let it show. I'm a poet and didn't know it. I'm going to salute everybody in the chat real quick.
I'm envisioning Kellz just sitting there staring at you like daggers
You
coming out of her
must
eyes.
have fucking ESP. Because that was the picture in my eyesight to the T. I'm still rhyming.
What did you do to her today, sir?
I don't know. I'm wondering. I might have to write in my diary.
She's just so funny. Hello. Hello.
Dear diary, Why is Kel
Because
mad?
he's trying to give me the floor. Like, I don't have all that much to say, first of all.
All you had to say was
All you
hello.
had to do was just do what you do on Sundays and just fleetingly say hi and keep on going.
All you had to say was hello.
I did. You're sitting there making fun of me for it, dickhead.
We are live. Let's go. Salute
Go
Victor
say your
Coco.
hellos.
Ladies of iTalk, Bori, Chucky Bill's in the building. Guys, again, after we give the intro and the hellos, you're welcome to join the conversation. Click the link in this it's pinned at the top. Do keep in mind, myself, Kellz, or Pamela J have the right to deny anyone at any time. If you get your ass on your back over that, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a flying fuck. How
You
about
are in
that?
rare form tonight. What the fuck is
How
going
about
on?
that?
There'll be people that'll be butthurt because we kicked
Miss
them off.
Sharonda
I'm gonna do it
Janine,
on
salute,
purpose
ladies.
now. Whoever comes up getting kicked off.
Yeah,
Watch.
fuck.
Kellz, look at her.
We're
Look
playing
at
the
her.
kickoff game
Anybody
for
other than
free.
Tammy, watch.
We're playing the kickoff game for free. You ain't got to
Don't-
pay shit.
okay,
Just say
there's-
their name.
There's my girl. She's ripping and roaring and ready to go now. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Eva, salute, welcome, Eva. Great to see you. Of course, Pammy, she's up here with us. Hold on. My comments just went fucking haywire. Oh, hey, you old bastard.
Else was yelling, went up real high, like.
You're gonna say all you had to do was say hello. Like, what the
Oh, you
fuck?
dead.
I just did, motherfucker. What you mean?
You want to arm wrestle?
I don't think you want to go there.
It's possible.
Hello.
All right. My fucking, I think I'm way behind on comments. Jesus Christ. I'm scrolling and it's
Let
a
me
lot of the
save you
same.
the torture. You probably are.
It's a
Give me
lot of
that.
the same.
Thank you. It's called sharing.
You're quite
sir.
fucking welcome, you pain in the ass.
No.
Salute to the
Lord.
ladies
Oh
of
my gosh.
iTalk. Make sure y'all are subbing up to the ladies of iTalk. Always a great time. Positive ladies, fun. They do different, a different idea every time. Very professional with it. Definitely support the ladies of iTalk. Murph and Kellz love them from iTalk and ladies of iTalk. Lotus is in the building. Not feeling well. Wanted to pop in. Lotus, feel better, darling. Always. Kenzo Colt for
Yes.
life.
You hope you
Streets.
feel better.
I'm getting bored of being around beautiful, intelligent people, so it's refreshing to be here. Ladies and gentlemen,
Street, you're gonna be the first one I tried a 24-hour timeout on.
the
so.
worst thing to come out of the UK since the Black Plague, streets of Scotland.
It's not even in Scotland.
Oh, is that
Sounds
what he
British,
said? He
fucking
said,
imposter.
Why are you catfishing us with your name, Streets?
Streets of London.
Are you
it
even
should
really
be.
in Scotland, sir? That is false
Miss
advertising.
Ivy, I'm here if anyone cares, but I promise I won't fall asleep. One, we do care, and we're glad you're here. Two, you fucking liar, you're falling asleep ASAP. Mrs. Ivy, love you, sis. We know
Oh
you're
my
hanging.
God.
You're hanging tough. You're hanging tough. She said, "I love nostalgic. It's on in the morning." She yelled at me one time. She's
People
like,
be tired at night.
she yelled at me the one time. She's like, "You come on too goddamn late." Sky Swizzy in the building. Great to see you, my brother. Great to see you come over.
oh, Sky Squizzy's here.
Oh yeah, I seen that said not for the faint of heart.
Sharonda said she got 100.
It's called the Dirty Kenzo, ladies and gentlemen. If that name isn't enough, first off, I'll explain it. Kenzo is a Kensington resident.
We don't really need.
So
you
I'm
to
calling myself
explain
the Dirty Kensington resident. What do you think this is going to be?
it. We don't need you to explain it.
Somebody was like, hey, all they talk about is drug abuse. I was like, I'll abuse some drugs.
That's the logical answer.
It didn't go down. It didn't
Go over well.
it didn't go over how I expected. I got A last.
So you was
Oh my
talking
Salute.
gosh.
truth.
Salute to 3-boy mom. She's like, Kenzo, when you find those drugs, let me know. It's crazy on here though, man. I listen to the shit King Troll talks about, and it's funny too, because it's like in ways I'm like, all right, I get it. I used to kind of be there in certain ways because I was in the middle of all the bullshit, and it's like But that's what when I hear about people saying like it's only drama, queen starting trouble. I'm like, where is this happening? I don't experience that. I think people forget your YouTube experience is based off of you, how you set up your algorithm, where you go, where you choose to chat. You know what I mean? It's only going to show you lives that are like what you're in. If you're in 10 troll pages, you can't be surprised when it suggests
people
one.
see you there as it's happening, they assume you're a part of it.
That part drives me fucking crazy. The guilty by association online shit is ridiculous because on the same token, they want everyone to stand up,
we may
on their own shit.
Entertaining it, but that's merely all we're doing.
That's what I'm saying, though. I could be in a chat. This has happened to me, too. Someone got mad at me because of emojis in a chat.
Maybelline is here. Say
they
your
were
name.
talking about me and my wife, and you were dropping laughing emojis, laughing at me. I was probably laughing at something completely different, sir. That's a little crazy.
Well, a lot of people don't realize there's a totally different thing going on in the chat.
No, a lot of people on here think they're the lead in this movie. They don't realize they're an NPC. We got JMS Maybelline. We got JMS in the building. Just to get a little news off the docket, ladies and gentlemen, I told Pammy already. I did today receive an email from our great friend Thursday. She will be around soon. We all know once you get off for a little bit, it is kind of hard to get back into the swing of things on YouTube. You leave the live flow, if you will, for a week, you're out the loop. Pammy was gone for like 2 days and was like, who are all these new people? You know what I mean? So it does move really, really fast. But Thursday is beloved here and always will be. So she can walk right, walk right back in. Street, you are a D-lister for dickhead.
Don't talk about my friend like that, please.
Double donkey dickhead. He's a triple D, a double donkey dickhead. That's all Street.
To know him is to love him.
The British King Jester.
Yep. I forget what they're called. The ones that used to sing and play their little guitar.
Jesters are fools, baby.
No. Remember you were watching the Game of Thrones video the other day, and they said the one.
Yeah, and they made the guy be his new fool.
Yeah, but I can't remember what they were called. Probably some stupid British word or something.
It's probably exactly what I said.
It's probably something stupid the British came up with. So I don't know. Our language is perfect because it's not just Anglo-Saxon.
You know what? You get in a conversation with him about food too. Just forget it. He thinks that like English food is like the best food ever. And
these motherfuckers don't eat peanut butter and jelly.
But he eats something called salad
haggis.
Cream.
Salad cream. Haggis. You know what fucking haggis is? You know what haggis is?
Isn't it something like the
intestines? Stomach. Intestines and shit. Sweet Brown.
You do know people eat things other than cow.
Listen, Sweet Brown. Sweet Brown might have something to say about that.
I'll put it up. Oh my God.
The fuck you mean you don't eat peanut butter? Haley, fucking Street, Becky. I ain't gonna say science because he didn't, but I bet you his little fucking British mind works the same way. These fucking assholes had the audacity to say, ew. Oh, we don't eat peanut butter and jelly over here. Wow, yous are crazy. That's like an American staple. Peanut butter and jelly? Ew. I said, ew. How dare you, sir?
I feel like 85% of the homes in America is based.
You know how many poor motherfuckers live off just peanut butter?
You know how many poor motherfuckers eat just bread?
We didn't even get jelly. We just had peanut butter. Peanut butter and air. I hope you wanted something with that other slice of bread.
Ham, no burger.
Ham, no burger. Peanut butter, no jelly.
But the thing that they don't even have, well, I'm talking about Scotland. He won't even like consider it. It's automatically just, oh,
yeah.
No.
But we'll eat beans on toast. Kind of weird. Fucking beans on toast.
That's an actual fucking no.
Larry Beach.
Not first thing in the morning, especially. What the fuck is wrong with you?
For
Larry
breakfast,
Beach.
they're eating beans. That got to be the fartiest fucking country in Europe.
That's what it is.
They're a little.
That's why they're so
gassy.
angry all the time. That's why they're all so fucking sarcastic. Oh, I don't hate you. Yes, they do. They hate your farting ass all through the fucking workday. Soon as street walks by, they're like, that fucking bloke.
That's it, because if everybody's doing it, then everybody's like that.
Every time street walks by, they're like, hello. They're like, that fucking bloke.
It's bloody. Bloody.
You're hilarious.
If we were American, I'd shoot him. But we're
That's
British,
one
so
thing.
I'm going to stab him. Give me a toothpick.
Sharonda, I
No.
love them too. I still
There
love 'em
is
too.
plenty of high-end cuisine in Philadelphia, sir. You bite your tongue.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Jesse, salute. Sue, salute. Welcome in, everybody. There is
Just me,
nothing
Sue.
but high-end eating in Philadelphia. Every time I smoked a blunt, I could eat
Hey,
high.
Oh yes.
that's not the kind of
Oh.
he meant.
I thought he meant you could eat till your high ends.
No.
Winning room.
And you can't even do that. You can smoke yourself sober.
Been there. Done
Exactly. But you cannot eat
that. It's a
yourself
waste
sober.
of weed. It's a waste of weed to try and smoke
Your
yourself
ass is
sober.
going to fall asleep.
When
That's
Ivy
why
was
I think-
there, when Ivy was there, she had something that looked delicious. It was French fries with crab meat on top of it.
I'm not a fan of seafood, but I understand that. How
It
about
looked
this
so
shit?
He
good.
wouldn't try it, but he
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the Murph hate tour does not stop in Europe. No, no. Today we're going to the great north of Canada. The fuck is poutine? Eating some cheese curds.
I don't know. It sounds like some.
Ew, what
nasty
is
stuff
protein
like that.
again?
It's
tell me
cheese
what that-
curds.
No,
Oh,
but isn't it
listen.
some protein? Isn't it with
They
gravy
don't
on?
want to
It's
do
cheese
it,
curds with
It's like
gravy on
French
it.
fries with a cheese gravy. But they put milk in a bag.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
do
they
Looks like a
do.
breast
They
implant.
do.
Looks like a breast implant.
a lactating one.
Fucking Canada. I don't even
Oh,
call them
that's
Canada anymore.
true.
I don't even call them Canada anymore.
You don't even deserve that. Now
You
it's
don't even
Canada.
deserve that. Canada. Fuck out of here, easy ass country. America, AE. We only share the A twice. These motherfuckers, it's like Monopoly. Where are you from? Canada. Canada.
It's easy for them to enunciate.
Fuck out of here. Only good things ever come out of Canada. Nat, Tan, and Canada Dry. And hockey. That's it. That's it.
What
Hockey,
about
I guess.
Victor? What about Victor Coco? I can't forget Victor.
Is Victor Coco Canadian? I thought
Yeah.
he's Philadelphian.
Oh, I thought he was from.
He,
I'm sorry.
listen,
I'm sorry.
Victor Coco is a very big Philadelphia fan, even if he's from motherfucking Canada. We got Robin Gradone in the building. This
Hey,
is
Robin.
a Facebook day one late. When Murph started the Dirty Kenzo, it was a meme page. Robin was a day one over there. Robin rocked out with us hard, everything we did.
Yeah.
Appreciate you checking in,
The
Robin.
Murph and Kellz podcast.
5 years later, here she is popping up into YouTube. That is love. We appreciate you. But yeah, I always tell people, like, granted, it was a meme page. It wasn't like my original content. And that's kind of what I came to YouTube for, to kind of differentiate myself a little bit. But we were popping on fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
We were popping.
As he's dissing everybody, it's like that was a mean page, but this is different.
Yeah, but we had, the best part was we had something that was almost like the troll channel. We called it Hard to Offend. And what it was is it was a private group. You had to be invited, come in. And people would share super offensive memes all day, like the ones you can't share on your regular timeline.
Oh,
And
I
then
love that.
the comment sections under it would be like
They were
World War
fucking
fucking 3. It would go. So the Hard to
Makes for
Offend.
some great reading though.
But then we had Dirty Kenzo, which was like, I wanted it to be more like the memes to be like stoner humor. Like I brought somebody in and they shared like a Hillary post and a Trump post. And I was like, you're fired. Like, I was like, we are not, no politics, race, religion, nothing that divides people. This is stoner comedy. A few people got it. I had
Dark stoner.
We had 5 people, like counting me and Kellz. We had 3 other people, and we would just share memes all day. But we had one meme that had like 2 million people saw it in a weekend. And
Yeah, and then
it,
they
you know.
got me for the fucking Tide Pod Oreo picture.
Yeah, but then they start striking us and shadow banned me for like 3
I thought
years.
that picture was kind of tame.
So I just let it.
You
Yeah,
got
but they were getting it on.
shadow banned for 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh, they had us on shadow ban.
And then they after the shadow ban, they were like, "Well, you've been inactive for a while, so we'll just delete the channel."
Oh, good Lord.
I don't even know if they did.
You can't find it on there no more. I tried searching it.
He shut hard to
Listen,
offend
I mean,
down.
I shut hard to offend down because it was offending everyone but like when I created it's because I do find myself hard to offend because I can put my mind in a place where nothing can offend me.
Well, the problem is everybody found it as a challenge.
That's what it is. People, so people are like, "Oh, you're hard to offend." Dead R word baby joke. And you're like, "Whoa, all right, you're getting close to."
They would take it to the next level just
They
to
would take
offend
it to
you.
the super extreme,
Yeah.
and then it would be like similar to what you see with KT, how he catches the blame for everybody else's fuck ups. All of a sudden, I was the asshole because I allowed this. They had one post. It was one I shared actually, and it started a fucking uproar. But it was when her safe word is flower, FLOWER, but she keeps saying flower, FLOUR. It's a funny meme. So in my mind, married man, husband,
Right.
what's that mean to me? Rough sex. Like,
Right.
We both found that.
do you know what I mean? Like if my wife had a safe word, a flower, and I'm like, "Oop, you were saying the wrong flower." Like I'm not expecting myself to hurt my wife if we have a safe word, let alone.
Mm-hmm.
And some girl came on there and was like, "This is promoting the R word," and I'm like,
It's
and
the
then I was
typical
like,
you
well,
can't please everybody, man.
so I was like, "Well,
Somebody's gonna
how?
be
What do you mean?"
offended.
And she's like, "If a girl says stop." So I said that to her. I'm like, "Well, listen, married man, I didn't even look at it that way." I said, "But you came in so aggressive. Now I could give a fuck what you got to say."
Mm-hmm.
Like, had you come in like, "Wow," even if she came in passive aggressive, it would have been better to come in and just attack people. You lose right away. And then I'm trying to tell her, similar again to when King Troll's screaming at people, not screaming, I'm exaggerating, but when King Troll's drilling over and over again, it's troll page. That's where I was trying to tell people, the girl, and I'm like, listen, you are like a fucking baseball player in a hockey rink. You got the right idea, but you're at the wrong arena.
Mm-hmm.
And she this guy starts messaging me, defending her. And I'm like, bro, she still ain't going to fuck you. She's not into you, White Knight. So he eventually, like, this is when I was evil still. Let me explain. But it was like, I understood where she was coming from. After that, it was like, you know what? I enjoy sharing these stoner ones so much more. I'm going to put my focus there. And then that's when the dude was sharing fucking political shit. Then him and the other two of my main moderators, I have 5 people, 2 of them are arguing. Your girl, that's why your girl died. That's why you're a fucking junkie, like flipping on each other. So I'm like, all right, this is over. Boop. And that's when I was like trying to get my own content in a little bit. Me and Kellz were doing a little podcast on Facebook at the time, a little something similar to this. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to YouTube. Hopefully, I was hoping 50,000 fucking people. If I could carry over 2,000 people, and that shit didn't happen. It's hard to get people over from Facebook.
I've never had Facebook, so I don't even know how it is over there. I told you that a million times.
Mm-hmm. Listen, the internet is what you make it. When we were younger, I was like, when Kellz first wanted Facebook, I'm like, no, they say it's for fucking dating and whores and loose men and all that shit. You know what I mean? Then you get on it and you're like, oh, it's just like fucking MySpace. It wasn't that different from MySpace.
Well, yeah, it wasn't that I was like,
the
it was
adult
more
version.
like it would be just one more app that I could get on that I would just just be all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you make it on here, though. If you go, like, I see this. I sit back. As I said, we've had the drama community coming into the troll page, so I've seen, I follow. I'll start to check out a few people from that community. Mo3 sector, the black sector, whatever sector comes in, I'll start to check out a few people, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm just noticing, it's like the same fucking characters always have the same energy. They always come in angry. Everything's offensive. It's like, you're doing this, and then they're on another one going, I can't go on here, man. It's just all bullshit and drama. And it's like, you're in it. Like, someone could go on a fucking panel and sing with it's fucking German, and I could just turn my phone down, and then the only thing that matters to me is the chat.
You know, that's true. I mean, it's just like with anything. If you can't,
Like, people never, you can leave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm somewhere and someone gets up there and I just don't like what they're saying, the rhetoric, I can leave. It's not an airport. I don't have to announce my departure, but you can leave. That's how I would. That's what I'm speaking personally here. This is what I would do. If I'm somewhere and you invite somebody up and I know this person's hate filled, they're going to kill the energy of your show, I'm leaving before it happens. And most times I'm right. You know, oh, what happened to that live? It's not up anymore. They deleted it because it went to shit after I left.
Well, the thing about it is there are some people that announce they're leaving and just never leave.
That happens all the fucking time. I love the people that are like, didn't you say you were fucking leaving? Lotus, salute, sis. Thank you for the, what do we call it on here? It's not a cup of coffee.
It's the
typewriter paper convos. I don't fucking know. I was just making stuff up. Thank you for the contribution, Lotus, and thank you, Mims. Mims did give us one before the show started. Said have a great show. She was going to miss it, but thank you so much to her
sweet.
too.
Oh, Mills Lane.
Hey,
Mills.
they just both popped in. Mills Lane at Philly, stand up. Salute to all the family in Philly, man. I hope y'all are staying safe out there. It's been a little.
You know what I want to talk about is the
sure.
Where was it in New York? The streets were totally flooded. I had no fucking clue this was going on.
You know, only reason I knew is because the customer is from New York. It's the only reason I knew. We're sitting out back one day, we're sitting there smoking our bowl, a little smoke break or whatever. He usually comes out. We always joke he likes to smell it. He's a Russian guy. He doesn't smoke. He smokes vapes, but he don't smoke with us. But he always sits there and bullshits with us. And he says, how about that flooding in New York? And I'm like, what flooding? Like, even the shit in Philly, I didn't hear about. That's how out of the loop with the news I am.
Me too. Me too.
I had no idea. I'm like, why? What happened in Philly? And I search it, and I'm like, holy shit.
Well, what happened in Philly? I don't know what happened in Philly.
Police shooting, cops cleared, riots, looting.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
All I saw was.
They're saying the cop was justified, but from what I seen, I don't know. You're telling me a guy in the driver's seat had a knife? I don't think that's a threat, personally.
I have not seen it, but was it Brooklyn that was the one that was
flooded?
Underwater?
I think I'm pretty sure it was Brooklyn, yes, but I think it extended to
there
other
were people
too.
in grocery stores in thigh-high water loading up and looting and leaving. I mean, what I saw on television was like, are you fucking serious? I could not believe it.
The looting shit is hard for me because I could kind of see it both ways. In one way, you're like, we don't need to go to that level. The second things fall to shit, you know? But on the same, it's like, one, you know who don't go steal? People who have shit. So maybe we should focus on why people don't have shit.
Well, I was just.
But I also feel there's some that are extremists. They're just going to take and not extremists. Just taking shit. But you know, they take advantage of the moment. I said that when.
Or if they said it's going to go bad anyway.
Yeah, but that's what I've always said. People go, look, they're destroying their own community, and it's like you're right. It's a fucking target. That's not a part. That's something that's been other than giving jobs. It doesn't help the community. It adds trucks to the community, things like other than the jobs it creates. You can't really say it.
I don't think people realize that even I was just making an off the cuff remark there regarding the stuff was going to go bad, but at the same token, don't they know? I mean, the business is going to write that inventory off probably in an insurance claim.
A mom and pop's place, then we have a fucking problem.
Right, and I mean they don't realize,
and that does happen, sadly.
The hit
not everyone can make that distinction,
right?
You know?
The hit that the business takes, and that business may never come up. You know, I mean, why would you rob in your own community?
The mom and pop stores I can never.
I mean, the big ones but
you know what? It's also not every troll, we always say, has morals, but not every gangster, not every drug dealer, not every hustler has morals either. Not everyone moves by the same codes. There's not a uniform, drug dealer's manual, so to speak. I moved ways that the guys I dealt with didn't. You know what I mean? Like, oh, why are you going that way? I never walked the same way I came. I don't care. Certain people just have different standards and morals.
I remember that G-Dup was telling me the last time, like when the subway, like I saw the water going down some of the subway stairs and it was getting to the trains and all that stuff.
They had to cancel all of transportation.
When the water finally recedes and all the rats that are dead on the ground drowned.
Yep.
I thought I was going to lose it. It was just the most... Oh my God, I just can't imagine like all that water and seeing floating.
It was just a wild fucking week and it wasn't really reported on.
Just floating dead rats in the water.
You have New York. New York was underwater. Philly's fucking under lockdown. There's like all these things happen, and the news is just like the presidential election is coming up in 5 weeks. Are you ready? It's like, can I hear what's happening today? No, you shut your mouth and you wait. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, weren't there some more Canadian fires that were like?
I don't think they ever fucking stopped. Unfortunately, I don't get this shit. Like, I think we should be smart enough to do this.
The smoke has moved all the way down to Florida. Now, I could have swore that's what I saw. Yeah, I just don't watch the news anymore, and I just sometimes when I'm talking to people, I'm like, what? What are you? And they probably look at me like I'm crazy. Like, woman, you don't even watch the news. I just can't take it. It's just too much shit going on,
That's why you can never watch the news. It's fucking depressing. The news used to have a fun part at the end. I think they forgot about that.
Oh, I know. Remember? Who really watches the real news on the television? Do you?
Yeah, there are still people who watch like the 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock news, and it's just part of the routine of the family. But it's like most people are watching either news all day or catching it online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have the Fox Newses of the world, the CNNs of the world. People who are invested in them, they're watching that all day.
Well, the thing about this also,
welcome in.
Also,
watch TV.
I watch TV.
Everything we watch is like predetermined. We watch streaming. You know what I mean? So it's like the TV shows we watch are like on HBO Max or Disney Plus or fucking Netflix, shit like that.
No, I don't. I don't either. I am very selective in what I watch, and if anything, it's on the phone or my iPad.
Like I said, I always the conspiracy theorist in me always keeps a watchful eye on shit, and I'm just like, shit is getting wacky. Even when you watch TV, it's like you see the people out here like they're pushing a narrative on our kids, and it's like I can't deny it anymore. I used to be like, all right, you're overreacting. Now I'm like, dude, some of the shit out here is just overboard. Like whatever happened to fucking common sense? And I think that's what all we hear from is the extremes. They're not the majority. They're the silent minority. They're the vocal minority. You know what I mean? It's like, so we hear these two crazy sides all day long. We think the world's falling apart. We're lied to constantly. Russia could come in and destroy us tomorrow. Russia's losing the Ukraine. China could come in and destroy us tomorrow. They killed the whole generation by not having women in it. The fuck? They're dying off, and we're supposed to be afraid of them. Okay.
The most newsworthy thing. Well, not really newsworthy, but
Becky,
I was talking to one of my friends about the hijab issue or thing over in wherever it was, or Iran or Afghanistan or wherever, where my girlfriend, who is married to a guy from Iran, and their daughter, they're trying, they go to the marches, and they were trying to just, discuss with me, because I'm one of those that picks the brain, right? I want to know what's going on. How do they feel about it? Yeah, exactly. So, we were talking about that, but I had no clue what was going on in U.S. soil. I had no clue. With the cop, was it in Kensington? Or was it somewhere
Yes, I
else
think
in
it
Philly?
was. I think it was in Kensington, coincidentally. Yeah.
It was in
From the video
Kensington.
I seen, I don't know. The video I seen, the cops walking in front of the car, guys in the car, and
Okay.
as he's going to the door, he starts shooting. And there's, I guess, if they cleared him, they're saying on the body cam, then the guy had a knife. But like I said, we all have different ideas on. We all have different morals, principles, and we all definitely have different ideas on what's a threat, what's self-defense, things of that nature. And that's why this country has a court system and juries and a jury of your peers, and because every case is different, and
Well, given the current climate in Kensington and what goes on in the, you hear that the cops sit back
yeah,
and don't
yeah,
do jack shit.
exactly. We could
What
go.
are,
We'll go shoot a guy in his car, but let's just let the crime right there happen.
yeah, I don't understand.
It's I don't fucking get it. Like I said, you have to get down to what you perceive as fearing for your life. I think that I can't blame the police because a lot of it's the training. They were told their entire career hit center mass. You don't shoot arms, you don't shoot
I mean,
legs, you don't aim
yeah,
for head because you can miss. They're smaller targets, you can miss. And guess what? A cop missing you and hitting anything else, and we seen this in that young lady's
yeah,
case a few
we've
years
talked
ago.
about this many a times, many
Breonna
times.
Taylor, you talk about Breonna Taylor case, what did them cops go down for? Every bullet that went past her house is what they got in trouble for. They didn't get in trouble for a single bullet that hit her house. That you hit the neighbor, there. That's the shit. That's what cops get in trouble for. That's why they're told to hit you center mass, your chest, your torso. It's wide, But I just
The thing
everybody's
about
a
it is
threat.
the thing about
Everybody's
it
a threat is what
is
bothers me.
right. The thing about it is that you're expected to make a life or death decision in a split second, and not
Exactly, and I don't.
anybody knows what they're gonna do.
Night, Jess. Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's another thing that's always got to be taken in, right? We're all fucking Monday morning quarterbacking here, going, "Oh, I shouldn't have shot him," and it's like most of us, even as civilians, if we're fearing for our life, we're shooting. I mean, we just heard something the other day, and I was telling Junior because Junior said smaller guy, tells dude leave him alone, dude won't leave him alone. Smaller guy shoots bigger guy. Now, in a way, where do you call self-defense? Because I could say you have to match the threat. You have to match. That's what self-defense is. People never realize that. You have to match the threat level. So you can't shoot somebody with a knife and then say it was self-defense. Even stand your ground, especially. Stand your ground is all about matching the intensity. You can't shoot somebody with a knife. You can't stab somebody with their fists and say you're standing your ground. It has to be, he had a knife, so I stabbed him. He had a gun, so I shot him. So it's like where the gray area in that, and it gets to be a slippery fucking slope of a conversation. Like again, then it goes to what's a threat, what's reasonable.
Actually, it goes to if they thought their life was.
That's what I'm saying. Then it goes to what's reasonably fearing for your life, what's reasonable force, and when you get into those conversations, it starts to snowball into other conversations and so on.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's a case by case basis. It really is. On my part, I mean, if it were me as a citizen, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we get to give you got to give the cops that much that they're making these decisions in a split second. I think people also undersell what it does to a person to take a life. You know what I mean? We act like we all, I'll say we, I'll include myself in that when I say we all always go, just killed him and he gets to walk free. And it's like, you do carry,
or how you react.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, the cop was free. He's going to be right back to work. And it's like, do we really know the cop's not going to see that kid's face for the rest of his life? Or do you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's almost more dangerous. In my opinion, sometimes with some of these shootings and stuff, the mental state of the cop plays a very important role as to whether they should even be out on the street anyway, because they're also going to be trigger happy because they're already having what do they call it, shooter's remorse or whatever.
PTSD.
I mean, not every person in this world, be it cops or whatever, get like happy when they have to shoot somebody.
Exactly.
Some of them are very, very regretful, and it's not like it's what they wanted to do.
It's not something they ever wanted to do.
Exactly. Exactly. So
exactly. I believe there's thousands of cops that don't ever want to take a life. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to get unfortunately, as we always say, like when it comes to pilots, I don't want a couple bad ones in the mix. I want, I don't want to hear, well, we have a few bad. That's what Chris Rock said. Chris Rock said with the police, they go, well, a few bad apples. He said, I don't want to fucking a few bad apples as a pilot. I'm crashing into a fucking mountain. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think the problem is, and I see this even with drivers, is we're way behind in this country on mental health, one. And two, the respect we almost give the elderly, it's like, I think the elderly should be getting a cognitive test to drive after 65. There's a lot of elderly people up here driving, and I don't know how they're not killing people when I see certain shit. I watched a guy today, old man today, cross a 2-lane highway during the red light to go into Burger King, and he moseyed 15 miles an hour across this fucking intersection. I'm like, I seen it. Like, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm looking around. Thank God there were no cars. And he just, and I'm just like, I see it every day. Some elderly person, you should not be driving. I'm sorry.
Streets is asking if he could shoot Becky.
No, you cannot shoot Becky. I'll give Becky an admin wrench, and I'll take yours.
Did Becky want to be shot?
Yeah, right. Exactly. You gotta leave Becky alone.
Yeah, no, the elder. I mean, unfortunately, it speaks volumes to what the generations, the generations below the elderly, like how they take care of their elders.
Exactly, and that's what it is. You don't want to be insensitive, but on the same token, I'm gonna fucking go on YouTube.
That's it. I'm
get him, babe. Get him, babe. But it's, as I'm trying to get back to the comment, I thought I had it up. The problem. Hold on. The problem is very few people want to list to the police academies. There are too many young officers that take the uniform as a form of intimidation and abuse their authority. That's a fact. It's a, there's an old joke I always say, how do you turn a bitch to a pussy? Give them a badge. But it's like the guys I knew growing up. Like, I know a kid I was in a band with back in the day. I've told you guys about him before. I see this cop, he's all sleeved out. And I'm like, who the fuck? And I look, and it's a kid I was in a band with. And I'm like, you're a cop? I'm thinking, you're a cop? You were like one of the softest kids. Ran home every day, cocky, but couldn't defend himself. Ran home. I wonder why. And that's what I just felt like in a way. I'm like, you fell right into the fucking stereotype. You know what I mean? Like, right into the stereotype.
Well, and then a lot of people, a lot of them don't want to become cops because they know, even if they're, it's almost
I have a friend that was, and he quit.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like when your intention is good, like to become involved in politics to make a difference, but it's so fucking bad that you can't get past the bad to make a difference. You almost...
It's so true. Just getting out of high school.
You know what I mean? It's like you sell your soul because you're up against too many people that are shady.
And again, like I said, I think a lot of this is the training. So can you even, as I always say, you can't. Oh, why is this happening here? I'm not going to blame the people in the hood. I'm going to blame the motherfuckers who made the hood. That's how I've always said. And it's the same way. It's like, should we be blaming the police force when their whole fucking structure since day one has been built on pretty fucked up shit? There's the history that what we would call original police forces. One were slave catchers in the South, and up north it was, guarding your property. So it's things they have too much to handle. That needs to be wind it back. You should have that was the thing though, when defund the police started, Defund the police wasn't take all their money, abolish the police. It wasn't nothing about that. It was they're dealing with too many crazy people. They're shooting these crazy people. Let's find a way. Maybe we pull back some of the funding. And people lost their minds when they said that. Like every fucking police force ain't out here with army tanks already. But y'all are talking about they need the funding. I'll let that part go. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. They were supposed to take that funding back to add to the mental health side. You know, let's get some kind of caseworker who could come in and deal with a psychotic person instead of a cop who's going to be like, he moved at me. It's not fair to him anyway. How would any of us handle a fucking psychotic person?
I don't know. I just try to put, I just, as a woman, and I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, if I had a husband that was a cop, I would want him to fight for his life if he felt he was in danger to come home to me and the kids. The bottom line is, I think that mutual, just basic, down to minimal level respect towards human beings has been lost. It's like everybody thinks they're right.
From them too. That's been taken from them too, the police, though, you know? Think about it. When we were,
that's what I'm talking about.
We were kids. That cop walking the fucking beat knew your grandmom's name. You be out there and you be out there fucking around smoking a joint in broad daylight, and he go, Pamela J, I'm telling your mother. And you'd be like, oh, fuck, Officer Graham. Everybody knew that cop in the 70s and 80s. You had that cop that walked the beat in your neighborhood, and he knew everybody. He knew the bad kids. Why are you hanging with them kids? They're no good for you. So that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Now you got some out-of-touch fucking kid, as we've all been expressing in the chat. These are just out of high school kids nowadays. So it's like you have a kid that's from a completely different place. You know, I'm from the suburbs, I'm policing the hood. I'm from the hood, I'm policing the suburbs. Like, no, you should kind of know the people you're policing. These things don't exist no more. Everyone's
you know what? JMS makes a great point. I'm reading it now. Teachers, too. There are some people that if you don't have your heart into it, you don't need to be a damn teacher.
You're exactly. And I said that all the time. There are certain jobs you have to care. You have to. There's certain jobs you can be like, you fuck this job, I'm slacking off. There's other jobs, food service, healthcare, working with the elderly. You have to care. If you don't care in food service, you're going to shut yourself down because you're going to hurt somebody. Any of these services, if you don't care, you're going to hurt somebody.
Well, you can also put it from spectrum to spectrum, meaning you've got a group of people, and it's going to happen with employment takeover. I mean, you know, the regurgitation of people just going through the system. You've got the new ones coming in that are green as hell. Then you go to the opposite side of the spectrum and have the ones that are on their way out that like don't really like their job, and they're just like 5 years from retirement. So they're doing a shitty job too. So it's exactly. So it's sort of like a lot, you know, and then what becomes the product of society when these are the people that are bringing up the youth, right? So it starts at home, and
that's the problem. We all go, well, it's my house. I only care about what happens in my house. Well, my kids got to be around your kids, so we do have to worry about each other's house a little bit,
right?
I got to make sure you're raising a fucking human being to be decent. That's not happening because, again, youth. We got kids raising fucking kids. Grandmothers at 40.
Yeah.
I have that in my fucking family. Yeah, I'm fucking like over the moon that tomorrow I raised 2 children to adulthood. Tomorrow's Katie's birthday. I raised 2 children. Like, that to me, that's my accomplishment. I have fucking cousins and siblings and that are grandparents that are younger than me or a year older. My cousin is a year older than me and is a grandparent. You know what I mean? It's like you got to count your blessings, but it's also kind of just where things are these days.
I have an aunt that's 3 years younger than me, and she's a grandparent.
Yeah, and that's been, you know, that was back in the day.
JMS, to my point before, you go in with good intention, it gets political, everything is air quote political, and the good people can't do good deeds anymore without being ostracized for
On
some
Bill Maher this
stupid.
week, Bill Maher spoke on when this country was built by the forefathers, they never anticipated this population. You got to remember, there was 1 million people here in 1776. 1 million, roughly. Little over, little under, in America. 1 million. Now, we know there were 40 million tribes over here, but they didn't exist in the history books, I guess. I don't know. I have to ask my great-great-grandfather, why didn't they bring you up, Chief? But
JK
there was,
and Mills Lane make good points.
now there's 350 million fucking people here. We're approaching 360. Did they ever anticipate it for it to be this big? I think, like, in way to Bill Maher's question I asked, I would say in ways I think we did build it for this size, because you have the House of Representatives, 2 representatives for each state. Then you have Congress, 1 person voted in. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
highlight
we have,
John
what do they call it?
Illuminati's comment and Mills Lane. They're very good points.
Okay.
The government isn't in the business of bettering life for anybody.
Except for themselves. Themselves.
And then, like Mill says, a lot of these jobs that are very important for basic society to flourish are underpaid. Grossly underpaid.
Undertrained, understaffed, underpaid. Every job, sadly, I spoke on this the other day, but unfortunately, we live in a country that's like, we're capitalist, and that's fine, but there are downsides to it as well, such as quality. They're going to say, oh, that bicycle you bought, the rim bends every week. It only cost us this much to make it. That's capitalism. Oh, well, sorry for you. You know what I mean? But I also don't believe in any, I can't say I would believe in any other system that's been known either. Communism, where everyone's equal. And no, that society doesn't really flourish that way. Innovation doesn't flourish that way. If everyone's even, if everyone's special, no one is.
Well, so and like, a lot of these younger teachers come in here with they want to whatever their opinion is on anything political, personal, whatever, they're pushing it off on kids, and then you get the parents that are like, hey, don't talk about, everybody thinks that they have the right to say whatever they want to whenever they want to, and it's not right.
Well, we live in a time where everyone's an expert. Everyone knows everything. My opinion's right. Yours is wrong. My kid wasn't being bad. He would never. Meanwhile, you're in the house going, you bad motherfucker. It's the bullshit. It's just, how dare you accuse my child? And it's like, when I was a kid, your neighbor would punch you in the fucking mouth. You'd be outside cursing, the neighbor like, come here, smack. You'd be like, what the fuck? Who are you, mister? I don't even know you. Who the fuck was that guy that just bitch slapped me?
I know.
And a lot of that shit is still alive. Obviously, it's alive in the percentage of us here. But it's like, things are moving so fast nowadays too that a lot of people aren't paying attention to what's disappearing. You got your new fancy little toy. I got the iPhone 12. What do I care that this is happening, that's happening, whatever. Mama T, salute.
Mama T. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's just.
That's what I always say. The conspiracy theorist in me always just keeps a watchful eye. Like, what if? That's all I say to people. Like, I'm the kind of conspiracy theorist that I need a lot of proof.
What do I say about if?
If, little word, big meaning, right? No. If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But
yeah.
But it's like for me as a conspiracy, I need what I consider absolute proof, and I need a lot of it for me to believe, to even start believing in things. It doesn't take me a lot to say, what if, or not even what if, what would it take to flood parts of New York City? Not much. I've seen them. They've been seeding clouds since the 70s. They know how to make it rain. There's videos. You can find it yourself.
Well, you know what? I said that to somebody. I
It
said,
doesn't take much, you know.
why all of a sudden? And I thought to myself, because a lot of the, wasn't it more the upper class neighborhoods that were being flooded? So, or was it the whole thing, or was it just things that I
I'm not
saw?
100%. Yeah, I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't
was
want
just
to.
almost, no,
Yeah.
I don't know either, but I'm just saying, like, when you take into account the certain fires, you take into
Yep.
account
Yeah,
what
the
happened in
area.
Hawaii, you know,
Exactly.
you always
Exactly.
want to, like, you're like, push it. Like, I'm that type of mind that's
Yeah,
like,
you're like, all right, I'll play the long game. I'll see who buys this land in 5 years.
that's what I'm
Yep.
saying. Like, the ever since the COVID, New
Yep.
York has been going down the tubes, right? I mean, the empty.
So they say, yeah, yeah.
The empty retail space, the empty office buildings,
That's happening
so
in
that
every
they could
major city.
so that they can
Hmm.
collect on the insurance money. Who's to say this shit's not forced? Okay, supposedly the
Yep.
weather is. I mean, it makes you think like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I say. When people go, "Oh, you're crazy," I'd say, well, "You're right, but I shouldn't have to think like this. I should live in a transparent place. We're the greatest country in the fucking world. Like, I should live in a place that I can be confident that certain, standards are in place."
Not me. I smile and say it's documented.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you really, really think about it. It does.
Exactly. That's what you said. You know, you can say, all right, this is what the wildest conspiracy theories are. You know, I might not, you don't have to agree with everything you hear. You know what I mean? You just do your own research and you start to form your own things.
As a wise man once said, you don't have to dance to every tune.
Yeah, G'd up Quinn. Every song ain't for me to dance to. Every song ain't mine to dance to.
This is true.
And it's why you don't have to believe it. Like I tell everybody, don't believe me at all. Please go find the shit yourself. But I've always been that way. Like with any tragedies or anything, I start researching shit myself. I'm not going to go on and have someone tell me what I'm looking at. No, my eyes work. I'll tell myself what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't understand the whole weather thing and how certain things are happening. And it could coincidentally be the global warming. It could be because we've abused the earth. It could be because of this, or it could be government. I don't know.
Yeah, but then they tell us, okay, there's global warming. Y'all, even in the 80s, y'all got to stop spraying Aquanet hairspray. You're putting a hole in the ozone layer. Not the fucking factory that made it, though. Like, that's the part, we're cutting back emissions. Cut them all the fuck back. We are too smart to be still using fucking coal and dirty shit in this country. We shouldn't be using oil. The dinosaurs won't. If we get oil from dead dinosaurs, they're not going to last for fucking ever. We got to be smarter. And every time someone comes up with something smarter, a super battery, a fucking car that drives on water,
no. I was gonna say, are you one of those 4 battery cars?
No, I mean, listen. I think we could do a lot of shit in this country, and a lot of shit we don't know about. There's a lot of shit Tesla was fucking with back in the day that got, fucking suppressed, and he was talking about
the thing about it is that
1899.
Okay, the amount of just think about the amount of charging units. Every household's going to have on minimum 2 charging units.
Oh yeah, no, it would take
installed
a
in their
complete
house.
overhaul. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never live to see it, I'm sure.
No, yeah, we wouldn't. No, the undertaking would be that would be like our generation's big thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the generations before us. Like, look at World War II. During World War II, every fucking American was involved in that war. Women went to work for the first time. Fucking women were playing baseball while the men went to war. Like, everybody got so involved. Our generation doesn't have anything. The only thing we've had taken from us. We haven't really got to put our stamp on anything. You know what I mean? We had 9/11. We have 9/11 to talk about. We had these things. That stuff being taken. There's nothing we've really put our generation's mark on.
So, but when you think about it, let's just think of VHS. Let's just think of VHS and microwaves. How expensive they were when they first came out. Now you can get a microwave now for about $50. That will last you a long time. You know what I'm saying? So right now, electric cars are very expensive, and only the elite and people that make a ton of money can afford them. But the more and more they're pushed into the economy, the more affordable they're going to become, right?
But that's the thing too. Like what I'm saying is so hypothetical, it probably doesn't happen. But it's like we would need a system where you have a president that's like, fuck everybody. This is what's happening. We are redoing. You know, we ain't got to worry about. Like my thing is this: after I say this a lot, after Hurricane Katrina, right? They built New Orleans back up. Everyone, not everyone, but a percentage went back. They did nothing to stop it from happening again. That part I don't get. If we have levees that are broken and it floods this entire major city, putting levees back up is not what I consider fixing anything. How about, like, I believe, again, we're smart enough. There's enough money in this country that's abused. We should be able to do something. I'm not a fucking engineer, but just something. So a wall that's on hydraulics that could double its height. It's not hard to do. People do shit like that every fucking day. You know, we have a 20-foot wall and it's got 2 hydraulic pumps. If the waves are getting high, now it's a 40-foot wall.
What about Niagara Falls? Doesn't that like hold a bunch of? I mean, or whatever. What is that other place? Hoover Dam? Hoover?
Yeah, Hoover Dam. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't
even
know.
that,
Is
like,
it money?
What is that? I mean, I understand it gives electric to a lot of the West Coast, but it's like that's what we should be doing more of then, right? You're using water to make electricity. That's what we should be doing, not burning fossil fuels. If we burn, like, hey, this makes us move. It gave us the combustion engine, it gave us the car, it gave us the industry. But at the same token, we know burning this gas is killing Earth. We have to, at some point, we have to figure out a different way. It's not going to work like that because we need to be here.
Yeah, there's like so many things involved with it.
We ain't building no fucking rocket and going to a different planet. Especially our generation, they're not taking us. Let's be honest.
I'm just telling you, like, that is so unrealistic to me at this point in my life that
it is.
I'm just like,
it would take fucking 20 years for them to do it. I mean, in America, it would probably take 50 fucking years because of the way shit's set up. Have you ever seen how long it takes them to fucking fix a quarter mile of your highway in your town? It takes them a month. I seen videos in China where they do that shit in 3 days. There's like 100 fucking people working.
Speaking of China, they're taking all our panda back.
Oh, yeah?
What is John Illuminati says something. China is opening new power plants every month, plus they have filters to put on the stacks of the coal plants.
Apparently, we pay them now.
To stop pollution. Like, it's kind of like a filter almost.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like we need to be smarter. More wind technology, more water, more like these things are natural. Solar, wind, water. These things are here. You know what I mean? We can use them.
Yeah, fucking, you know what? I mean, the thing about it is that it's so true. Like, I'm just looking at Scotland's statement about how beautiful it is in Scotland. Now, if you look at the lushness of the grass, the aesthetics of the environment over there compared to everything here, to me looks dead.
Well, that they have old world feel over there still, you know? It's like you go over there, it still feels like the old world.
Well, I guess maybe that's what I like. I don't.
I mean, it still does exist. I mean, I think it exists in your state as well. Like, I think in Scotland, I would, Street could correct me if I'm wrong, and our English friends as well. I imagine it to be like a major city. You have a nice little major city that, like London, for instance. London is popping. They got their shit, right? Then you got some little suburbs right outside of it. And then what I imagine it to be is like similar to Pennsylvania. Similar to Illinois, similar to Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, wherever you like. Stretches of highway with green all around, farms, trees. That's what we got too. It's just our cities are so fucking big and chaotic that you don't always appreciate that little, you know, it's a rest stop on the highway. You never even fucking stopped that before, but when you get off there, you're like, oh, this is fucking beautiful. Look at that right over there. They got a nice little setup. You know, sometimes in these big major cities, we miss out on the little things.
Yeah, John. Yeah, John makes a good point too. That who's telling us to go wind and solar? It's China, because they profit off all that crap.
Exactly, they're building everything. I've said for years, I think we need to get America, especially, like we should have. You want, like, capitalism's our shit, right? And we want to say fuck China. Communism sucks. They're communists, right?
Oh my God, he makes another great point.
And build shit here, right? Like, what's the stereotype of buying something from China or Hong Kong? It's gonna break before I even get it. Then in America, we should build shit perfect, doesn't break, lasts forever. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't fit with capitalism, but that would fit with you know. They sent the jobs there, so we can't be like, yeah, fight for America's money. They didn't give a fuck in 1995 when it mattered. That's why Kensington's like it is. That's why fucking Baltimore is like it is, because these were cities with major warehouse districts. Kensington, Baltimore, these places.
Yeah, it really
Baltimore is a fucking dock city.
Don't even tell me. I'm not far from it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Kensington is 10 minutes from Fishtown, which is on the dock of the river. You literally drive a boat through Fishtown, load a truck, and drive 5 minutes to Kensington from your warehouse to the boat, whatever. That's where all these addicts live in Kensington, in these old closed down warehouses. These people who are from Kensington generationally, their parents, grandparents worked in those fucking warehouses.
Yeah, now when you close them down, you're closing down an entire neighborhood. An entire neighborhood. But I'm looking at John Columinati's response to the all of the elites buying all these houses for the beach. Why are they buying houses? Why? They think we're that stupid not to see it.
Look, I look into all kind of shit when shit looks like it's going weird or too good. I'm like, all right, let's check space. Let's check space. Let's check the ocean. Make sure the Kraken ain't coming out or no weird shit.
Oh, good Lord. I don't even.
But I learned with my conspiracies as well. Ignorance is bliss. And I'd rather be ignorant and happy than woke and depressed. Because when you are fully woke, your life is an existential crisis.
Well, Linda makes a good point too. Yeah,
1,500 plus 1 bedroom.
Talk about it. Talk about how Kensington burnt the fuck down. Like, people, most of us here started Morals Over Money, right? We all started Morals Over Money. I bet you people here that aren't from Philly even know this by now. Yeah. But to even to Linda's point, right? People always used to come to Frank's and say what to us? How could they let this happen? Why are they just letting this happen? Think about it. Like Linda just said, those warehouses are becoming fucking $1,500 lofts each. Each floor is becoming like 4 lofts. So now you got what? Fucking 32 lofts. You're making $1,500 a month or whatever. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. They played the long game. They seen in the 90s where this shit was going. Because I tell people that Kensington having been perfect in my lifetime.
No,
it was better.
You know what?
It was better.
You know, my theory is this. With the they didn't predict the elite. I'm using air quotes elite because whatever. They did not anticipate that the internet would be as informative. There, as much shit that's on the internet, it's actually good stuff on the internet, and people can make money. Okay, they're locking down the wealth of their future generations because they don't want other people taking over. They think we're so stupid that we don't recognize what they're doing. In my opinion, like they just are scared. Like, I mean, they're scared and they want to keep control, so they're going to do whatever to keep control.
I actually think they're not really worried at all, because it always keeps rolling, right? They've been
they do it because of all this shit that they put in place. Rolling. It's all this shit that they keep putting in place. I mean,
everything is a contingency. Like I always tell people, how can you fix Kensington? Well, you got to fix this and then this, but you can't fix that without this and that.
But you think about
ridiculous.
most of the people that are like John K says, they speak one thing when they're up at the podium or in a public forum, but when it comes to their own personal families and lives, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah, they're doing whatever's most profitable.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I don't know, man.
That's why I say, like,
I couldn't be like,
have a good one, Mama J. Appreciate you.
I don't think I could do it. I don't think my conscience could let me. That's why, like, you get into politics with good intention, and nothing is gonna. You got to sell your soul, or nothing's gonna happen. That's just, I mean.
That's why I say I went down that rabbit hole, and it is depressing. You have an existential crisis because you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I can't do shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, what am I here for? Shit like that.
Well, I mean, I believe that there's certain people in government that if you know too much, you get lost. You're gone. You don't see that dude anymore. What happened to him? What happened to him?
Not hard to believe.
That's it. Said the fact Kensington exists in the U.S. is just a terrible indictment on your nation.
Yeah. I agree. And it's not just Philly. It's every fucking where.
Yeah.
You know what? It's really bad. It really is.
You have Kensington Ave, you have Skid Row, you have the entire fucking city of Detroit.
There's only very few countries that
have places in New York have these places that are
Phoenix, Arizona is bad.
It's why are there so many addicts? Why are there so many homeless? Why are there so many mentally ill homeless addicts? Like it's like what the fuck?
What do they think is going to happen to like?
Why are so many people trying to get high and get it? Why are so many people trying to escape?
Because
a lot of people get high. That's trauma. Trauma. We're all we that's what links us as humans, really. Our trauma.
Say, it's a permanent solution to a temporary.
Well, yeah, that's like when someone, unfortunately, can't see an end.
Yeah.
But it's people are depressed, man. If you check out statistically, people are more single now than they've ever been, more depressed than they've ever been. And again, a lot of it is when I think people were always like this. I just think it was suppressed more. I mean, we were kids; it was be seen and not heard. Nowadays, everybody has a voice. So yeah, I think a lot of this was happening already. Gays, trans. Any of that, that was happening already. We had transsexuals in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That wasn't new.
It was just not possible.
You know what I mean? It wasn't, you weren't, seen and not heard, or, that wasn't accepted here, so it wasn't talked about. Things were different. Nowadays, everybody has a voice, and people want representation.
Not to even mention when you see the people in Kensington and they have to go to all those local hospitals, the amount of strain. Because they're just now coming up with, I do believe I heard, certain ways that they can sort of help treat these people, because getting off of this, whatever the fuck it's called, the trank and all that crap, is something that half of these people have never dealt with, meaning the doctors and the nurses, they don't know what to do. Then you have the hospital system is getting over flooded with like issues of like drug addiction, people having from the shot, people having like issues from that, and
you figure it brings a whole mess of things just because of addiction. Addiction's bringing what to your hospital? It's bringing overdoses, abscesses, violence.
These are people that
these things just because of addiction. It's not like we say addiction, that's an umbrella statement, because there's 30 fucking reasons people go to the hospital through their addiction,
Yeah, and the people are, I mean, what does this say that I can't even look at the pictures of some of the amputations that people are getting, and then they let them back out into, it's a problem that is so fucking huge.
It's huge.
I can't even.
I always say, I believe step one is education, because we have to stop it. You have to find a way to say, all right, this is the cutoff line. Everybody on this side of this cutoff line is who we got to focus on. This new generation coming up, like our generation, for instance, the 80s babies, we're the crack generation. You know what I mean? It's like the crack baby generation. A lot of our generation were crack baby. Even if you aren't, someone in your generation was. So it's like a lot of I knew a lot of kids that were like, I would never smoke crack. My dad smoked crack. I would never do heroin. I knew a few that said that and still did it, but a lot of them, it was like, motherfucker became a lawyer because his parents were addicts. Do you know what I mean? People do different. So I seen it then. So you figure you would think if everyone had that mentality, now by 2023 it would be dwindling. Unfortunately, it's not. It's raising. So that means we don't have enough people that are in that mind frame. We have more people that are addiction is hereditary.
I guess you are a product of your environment if you want to look at it that way. But at the same token, you can have kids that live in the best circumstances ever, but their parents are asses and fucks with their brain, and then or bullied.
Exactly.
They could be bullied at school, or they could. I mean, you never know what it is.
And that's the
bottom
issue,
line.
right?
The bottom line, it is what it is, and I don't know. I don't know, man. It's almost like spreading like wildfire. It used to just be Kensington and then sprinkled across the United States. But now there are cities like Kensington in every state. And not even just one city. I'm talking multiple cities.
You're talking every top 8 city, probably at the top 8 populations.
Yeah.
You figure that's New York, LA. That would be Houston, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona,
Boston,
Philly,
maybe Boston.
And I think Boston would be like 7th.
Like in Massachusetts. I mean, anything that's in Mass.
It's ridiculous. And it's not just the cities. We've learned that. Eminem says that. Marijuana is everywhere. Where was you brought up? And that's like, that was the problem with the opioid epidemic in the first place. It was like the crack epidemic. You had to go to a corner and buy this rocked cocaine. The opioid epidemic, you had to go to your parents' medicine cabinet and grab might cause drowsiness. That's all you had to do. That's why so many people got fucked up, because they were getting those pills, which were super accessible. Now all of a sudden they act like they were holy. Yeah, we were telling y'all they fuck people up. Yeah, okay, that's why they were everywhere.
Yeah.
We've seen what Oxys did. I've seen what Oxys did. They destroyed Fishtown fucking early. There's an MTV special you could probably still find. It's I think it was True Life or one of their documentary shows MTV does, but it was a few kids I went to school with were on there because them fucking Oxy 80s were devastating that neighborhood in like 2001. Kids were taking them and drinking and dying.
I'm going to tell you, John Illuminati has some of the most people. A lot of people don't. Everybody has their opinion, but he drops so much knowledge to make you think about. Really, I mean, he makes such excellent points. I mean,
that's it, JMS. Them Flintstone vitamins got us, and the hose water. We had Flintstone vitamins when they were chewables, not gummies, and we had hose water. We're good.
Yeah, exactly right. It's just
I think
crazy.
It's just nowadays, if you're shunned for being different, you're shunned for. I always call myself like what I would be like. I don't know, a constitutionalist, I guess you would say, where it's like, I believe if I'm following the laws of the Constitution, then I should be left alone in everything I do. That's kind of how I believe like life should be. If I'm following the laws of the land, you shouldn't worry about what I'm doing. And that's, unfortunately, you need a permit to take a fucking shit in your own house.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
Think of it. You can't get work done in your house without pulling permits. And that fucks so many people up. Bill Maher, again, I watch Real Time with Bill Maher a lot. Bill Maher lives just outside of LA. It took him, and I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, it took him 1,200 days to get solar panels hooked up. To put that into perspective, if you guys aren't thinking it, he
3
spent
years?
4
3 to
fucking
4 years.
years waiting to get solar panels hooked up. 4 years. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong.
Well,
Remember
but-
we told the story on one of the combos. They were talking about building a public toilet in, I think, San Fran. And it was like, by the end of the day, this one solo toilet where, let's be honest, it's going to become a shooting gallery. People are going to be in there getting high. The bids, and it was going to be $2 million fucking dollars to build a bathroom. So they didn't do it. That's the fucking problem. No.
Why would it be that much to build a
Because the problem is, the government doesn't like unions, but on the same hand, they want to use them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, don't use that union, use this one. And dumb fucking shit like that.
So was it the reason? I mean, when you put into perspective you would think that he, being a celebrity, would have access to most products quicker than most people.
Exactly.
The workers quicker than most people. Why did it take so long?
That's it. This is a celebrity. That's what he even says. He's like, I'm a fucking celebrity and I had to wait 4 years. Imagine if you weren't. Imagine if I couldn't call your manager as Bill Maher. A fucking guy who's been a political comedian for 40 years.
Yeah.
Bill Maher dropped in 82, 83. He's been doing this shit for 40 fucking years.
But I'm very uneducated in the solar costs. Like, are solar panels expensive?
Again, the conspiracy theorist in me says, when you have solar panels, they buy electricity from you. Maybe that's why it took so long, because you ain't paying an electric bill no more. They buy electric from you.
Well, if they're really, really expensive, there's only going to be a subset of people that can get
They're
them,
not really, though, because, like, my dad has something.
Depends on how many.
It's like one of the solar panels, and it
That's
hooks
true,
to
Mhm.
it hooks to like a battery pack. I can't remember exactly. It's something real simple though, and he got it for like about $100. So I'm saying they are different price ranges, but the thing is, you stop paying an electric bill eventually when you have solar panel, because the electric company starts to buy it from you.
But if the whole
So
world,
they're sending you a
if
check.
the whole world is burning and we have climate fucking problems and shit, the sun's not going to be able to get through to the panels to charge them.
Exactly.
So why? I mean,
Yep.
it's like, it's just too. It's hello. I mean,
And we're never told what to worry about, the right shit. Like I said, I told everybody on here a few weeks ago about fucking Yellowstone being a super volcano. How many people had no idea? I only started finding these things out myself from little breadcrumbs. What's this? What's this? Oh shit. Oh, that's a super volcano in the middle of the fucking country, and we had no idea. Thanks.
Yeah, that's one. You know what? I don't know.
And I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, watch out for the weather. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, the volcano's getting worse, ain't it?
That's what I'm talking about, John. How is it going to work when there's darkness? Are these people going to have?
You gotta hope we're not in constant darkness. If they fuck with something and we're in constant darkness, then solar is.
Well, they're going. I mean, they can control everything else if people are.
That's what that's what I'm saying. Are we talking no sun? Because
are these people?
Some of these charge off UV too.
If the government's losing money or losing hand of anything anyway, they're going to control that too, in my opinion.
Of course, yeah, they're gonna. That's what it always is. No. Okay, now we're like, they fought Cash App and PayPal forever for their services, and now they're making one. So it's always no. Oh, we'll do that too.
I need to research more about solar, because I'm a novice when it comes to.
I think every house. I think again, these are things like, of course, they're very big ideas that would take very smart, smarter than me probably, but smart people to think about. But like, I think these undertakings would be beneficial to make every house in America had solar panels and a greenhouse provided by the government.
That is so unrealistic.
It because of the system we live in. Exactly.
Seriously,
it shouldn't be unrealistic. It really shouldn't be unrealistic.
Okay, so
100 million homes.
Okay, so a greenhouse. Are you talking
Nothing
about?
major. No, nothing. I'm not saying like a whole greenhouse. Let me be specific. I didn't say that. I wasn't specific enough. I mean, I'm talking maybe the size of a big closet, a small bathroom. Not like a
Okay,
greenhouse.
so explain.
Not a
Like a
full-size greenhouse.
greenhouse to you, a greenhouse is where you can grow your own food, right?
Fresh foods, yes.
Okay, so you've got.
But then they'd want to sell you the food.
You've got to take into account. The kids are going to school. Both parents in the household nowadays either have to work 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
who's going to take
Another
all
one of their
this shit?
lovely.
This shit's
Another
gonna
one of their
die.
lovely moves, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like realistically, who can do? Who can? I mean,
You really can't no more. Shit's been changed. Like, think of this. Realistically, we're saying realistically, right? Could you and your husband provide for your entire family off $400 a week? No, right? I know we probably couldn't.
No.
But guess what? Our fucking parents could. How'd they do that? How did our parents pay
You know
for their
why?
house?
Because
own
they
their
plugged
cars,
they
go on
plugged in
vacation?
they plugged in their television and TV shows came on.
People watch TV. That's a good point.
I mean,
But
there
think of
wasn't
that, man.
cable.
You didn't need 2 incomes. Things weren't so expensive that you needed 2 incomes.
Usually the dad.
The thing was, Dad worked and made $400 a week, which some people are still making $400 a fucking week. Let's not like shake a stick at that. But if your dad made $400 a week in the 70s, you were okay. You were going on vacation once a year. You had a summer home or a winter home. Like that was $400 a week because your rent was $200 a month. Your electric was $80 a month. You know what I mean? Shit like that. It's changed so much.
Anytime resources become scarce, the price is going to be driven up. So it's when
but who determines the scarcity?
When technology,
the same ones that are running the price.
Right, the technology. When technology gets involved and everything else, you're going to have people that are innovative, that are going to come up with other ways to do things.
Yep. Necessity is the father of invention.
Yes.
I always say that. Think of that. The only reason we have anything, why do we have phones? Because a motherfucker wanted a way to contact somebody he wasn't in the place with. He had a necessity, a need, and he filled it.
Brian Bell originally wanted people to answer it with ahoy.
Ahoy, hoy. Yeah.
You could literally, if you wanted to, live
Salute
off
to the chat, AYB, Mrs. Bobby. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, you could live off grid if you wanted to, but that too takes money. Okay.
And nowadays, where? Like Alaska. I think that's probably it. Maybe like the Dakotas, but I don't know how much.
Realistically, living off grid is maybe neighbor is a half a mile from you.
If see, to me, off grid is I don't have any neighbors.
Well, see,
like
that's unrealistic.
No one knows I exist.
That's becoming more and more unrealistic these days. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. You see people run to Alaska for that. You know, because no one's coming out in the middle of the Yukon to see what I'm doing in my little wood cabin. There's TV shows, and are you really hiding if you're on a fucking Discovery show? The IRS coming, baby. The IRS still coming for you.
But also, especially with everything that goes on, the food and the stuff that you would need, that the animals that are becoming extinct and all that stuff, your food. I mean, it's not like it used to be. You can't do these kind of things anymore. It's,
it's rough, man, because it's like, I understand you need, like, should we be working ourselves to fucking death? Like, think about it. People work themselves from the day. You're expected to work from 18 to 65. Most of us work 3 before that and fucking 5 after that. You start work when you're 15 and you stop when you're 73 and you die. Like, I know people that didn't stop working until they died. That's how they retired. They died.
I'm knowing more and more people that retire at like 60, 62, and then
other countries do that shit. Other countries
then they have a stroke within like that year, or they have and
they slow down.
It's just I don't.
The mind is a crazy thing. No, we don't always think of how powerful our mind is. How many people have cancer, have no fucking clue, and live like nothing's wrong? Find out they have cancer and they're dead in 6 months. Yeah. If they didn't find out, God only knows how long they would have lived.
Sharonda, I'm telling you, I was just had a Zoom call with my girlfriend in LA, and she's having to pay for an apartment for her son while he goes to school. And she said she lives in LA, and the cost is just like drain. She works to pay for his shit.
I worked with a girl, and before we moved out, right before we moved out here, I worked in a warehouse. There was a girl there. She's a single mother. The dad was murdered. She worked 3 jobs.
Ooh.
That's unfair to her and her child, and just total, you know? It's like, I understand. I'm not going to say, oh, it's unfair for me and Kellz to have to work. That's fine. We're talking about a single mother with a single child. That you have 1 kid and you can't spend no fucking time with them. What kind of world is that?
It's because we've talked about this before too. Is because the system is broken, and you can't have people living off a system that was only built to help you get back up on your feet.
Yeah,
you have people like her, right? You have people like her that really, really need the assistance, but unfortunately, the system is skim. So it's like,
and that's, I mean, it's, you know, you have to survive, right? So that's what it is. It's like, okay, and wives started going to work in droves back in the day, in the 90s. It wasn't because, you know, the right for women to work had already been in place for a few decades at that point. It was, no, I have to fucking work because shit's getting too tough. You know, my husband stays in a week. Like Eva said in the chat, I had to get a second job to buy toilet paper and fucking soap. And that is the world we live in. It's like, we could live off Kell's paycheck, but not like perfectly. You know what I mean? It's like with weed and fucking toilet paper and dish soap, and kids now got to go here this day, and now we need gas. And
that's like I told you the story I told you about my one girlfriend that busts her ass and worked 2 jobs and was trying to make ends meet and tried to get like food stamps. All she wanted was like $200 just to buy dinner food, okay? Because the kid was in school, had school lunch, blah blah blah, and they told her, you make $400 too much, so you need to like quit one of your jobs, and then we'll be able to help you out, or whatever. And it's almost, and her pride wouldn't let her do it.
I always think of this like the super elite, the super rich. Like, they don't even realize the money they piss away is life changing to some people. Like,
that's true.
Think of that. If I'm a billionaire, would it be? I have $5 billion, right? How much do you think someone with $5 billion spends per day? Probably $100,000.
They don't.
Now, if I gave $1,000 to 100 people in the hood, that could be life changing for certain people. Bet this gets me that ID I've been after. This gets me that last 100 for that fucking car I've been after. You piss that money away doing nothing. Oh, I'm eating some fucking escargot and dumb shit. It's like what they piss away, what they take for advantage. You know what I mean? It's like I think that's
they're thinking with people like that. They're thinking generational wealth because they know that money, well, it's not going to just satisfy their generation. It's going to, when people speak about my kids, grandkids, kids, their kids, it's, yeah, I mean, you can only help. Like, look what Shaquille O'Neal does, just going into a basic Walmart, finding a kid that's like with his mom and saying, do you have a bicycle? He's like, no. Do you want a bicycle? Okay, let's go pick one out. That little teeny interaction can change somebody's life so much.
It makes you feel good. Like Drake did the God's Plan video, and in the video, he gives a family a stack of cash. And they start like crying, the whole family. First time I ever seen that video, I was like, like it choked me up a little bit. I'm like, that's fucking beautiful when you see shit like that. It's just the problem is there's not enough of that. We see the generational wealth. People don't recognize generational poverty.
You look at like people like Eva, who's on the verge of losing her home because of everything that's going on. There should be ample money to help people like that apply for it, that you know it's going to go to a good place.
Exactly.
You give people a substantial amount of money that don't know how to handle money, they're gonna get themselves in the same place within a matter of a year or whatever it is.
Why are we? Yeah, we're so in a rush to take the house and knock it down and be an empty lot for a fucking decade. Like, how about we just keep the people who are part of our community in the fucking house? Let's try that. Can we do anything to work that part out?
Or if you do Habitat for Humanity and you build this house, you make sure they have the resources to, one, pay the taxes and utilities on it, pay all of this other stuff, because if you just give them a house and a lump sum of money, when that money is gone, if they don't have the mindset to allocate the money accordingly, it's going to be the demise all over again.
I'm seeing what JMS and Street are talking about in the chat, and I think this has been an issue with a lot of people. It's a shame because it kind of, in a way, it kind of makes what we would call locals, or, you know, for us Americans, for Street, you know, European, I don't know, UK, Scottish.
She tried to apply for help, but the only way they'll even help her with food stamps is if she puts a lien on her house so they can have it.
So yeah, another nice little catch-22. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those bastards.
But that's what I'm saying. In a way, they're almost making us, they're driving us to hate a migrant or someone that's trying to come to your country for asylum, right? We always hear the news go, they're sending R words and killers and they're gonna get you in the middle of the night. Let's actually, for 1 second, use our brains and believe somebody's actually coming to America to get away from some fucked up shit. They actually want asylum, because it happens. We do take women and children. So it's like someone's coming here for asylum, and these fucking things that are in place and implemented are making Americans hate these people when we should be embracing them. Yo, come here. It's better. You're right. You did come to the right place. We should be in a position to be able to be like that, because that is how it was in 1900, in 1930, when most of us here, our people, came here. Because the people who were here already were like, yo, come over here. It's fucking dope. We can't be like that now, because as Street's saying, they're seeing in the UK. We see the same thing here. If you're foreign and you come here, you get 5 years tax-free. So now you have a store in my community. You know nothing about me. The guy who owned that store got thrown out. So you swooped in. Now we hate you because you stole Mr. Jones' store.
Exactly.
And you're here tax-free. It's like if we were in a position where we were taken care of, we would be those loving, yeah, fuck yeah, you better come over here and get some of this free pie. Do you know what I mean? But when we were like, oh, okay, someone fought for this fucking country for 30 years and is a little off his rocker, and now he's homeless. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow when you're saying your kid's homeless and we're taking care of it.
People from other countries look up to the United States as being this, like, the greatest place, world, the freedom, you know, whatever. But they bring them over here. And I would say that respectfully, because some people are truly just trying to make a better life for themselves.
Exactly.
Okay. But at the same token, the government knows they're going to be willing to work for $5 an hour.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're going to do whatever needs to be done.
Whatever needs to be done. They will in a 3-bedroom house put 25 people. They will do what is ever necessary. But the fact that people, like you said, the vets, college, like JMS was saying, that
children,
the people that have been there, they're here their entire life and paid taxes into the system are getting booted. And I heard that some people are like put up in hotels, like nice hotels. You know,
vouchers and like I said, if you're in a country that takes care of its people, you would have no problem. If we lived in a place where we didn't, the amount of vets on the street, the amount of children on the street was very minimal, we wouldn't care. We'd be like, good, I'm glad you put them up in a hotel. It's better than sleeping in a fucking park. But the problem is he's in a hotel and a motherfucker from here is actually in the park. That's why we have a problem. That's where we start to get the discrepancy, because we're not taken care of. You can't give charity until you're right. Like, no one's donating to fucking the March of Dimes and he's not knowing if he's got a dime to eat dinner tonight. So that's the thing, you know what I mean? It's like you take care, you do charity when you can. You have to be full before you can give charity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You have to be good, at least good, before you could worry about charity. I can't give the charity and then be homeless, you know.
Yeah, it's infuriating. It's really it makes you lose it makes you lose hope and like I don't know, man. It just makes me so angry when I see
See,
that
and I
kind of
feel
stuff.
bad in a way for them towards John's comment, because John's comment sparks in my fucking mind what happened to Japanese Americans during World War II. They were American and got put in a fucking internment camp. Because my parents were from Japan and you were fighting Japan, I got put in the. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what John's saying here. They have to follow orders or be deported. It's like that is almost a catch-22 for them. It's like, don't do nothing wrong or you're out of here. You know what I mean? That's one way. And then on the other way, it's like shit hits the fan. Do I got to worry that my family's in danger now because you're fighting with Iran and now my Iranian family is in
and then
danger?
if you look at it on a different human level, like if we were born here in the United States, and you may, I mean, I'm talking current day and time, okay? I'm not talking back when it was first discovered and all that crap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Comparison to other countries, we hit like the birth lottery, okay? We don't have to deal with as much crap as other people have to do, and they do look for asylum to get a better life. But we have to be realistic in the fact that we can only take so much without it affecting the people that already live here.
No, I can't, that's exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to be charitable, right? You want to help people. Everyone does. It's good to help people when you're good. You know what I mean? It's like when your Christmas is done and you hear about a Christmas drive, you're like, fuck yeah, I'll help. My Christmas done. A little more Christmas spirit. It's just what we do naturally. Good people do naturally. You know, you see a commercial on TV, in the arms of the save a dog. You're like, you know what? I got an extra $20. I'll save the fucking dog. People do that when they can, but you can't go save a dog when you're losing your dog.
Yeah.
Well, if I make a pie and I cut it into 8 pieces and 4 in my family, and I know the family next door is starving, I'm going to give that 4 to the people next door.
Exactly.
But I might only have $20 in my checking account, or I could say to myself, I'll save this for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. I have to.
A lot of that happens too, though. That's what happens a lot too, though. People die. A lot of money dies and just goes right to the government. I'll save this dollar for tomorrow. I'll save this dollar for tomorrow. They never get that. Tomorrow never comes. And
well,
if you ain't got
I mean, it's
you ain't got no family.
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I mean, you can say that's why you pass that wealth on to your kids and hope they don't squander that shit away, because you know, I mean, you worked hard for it, and if you end up living to 90 or 100 years old, you don't want to have that cost of whatever institution you have to be put into, you know? I mean, there's so much that goes into it, believe me.
It's crazy. One thing after the other, exactly.
Oh, great. The president of El Salvador is cleaning the house of MS-13. Guess where they're escaping to? Yeah, with the border being open, a lot of people just come through the border. I mean, it's just a known fact.
I mean, shit's crazy. You know, have you ever heard a immigration news clip about people coming on planes and never leaving? You don't really see too many of those stories, right? It's always they're crossing the river. They're crossing in El Paso, Texas from Mexico. They're crossing the border wall. How about the motherfuckers that fly in and never leave? Not all of them are women who could get married and have kids. You know, not everybody can fuck for a green card. A man, he might have to hide for fucking in that country for a long time.
Well, I mean, aren't they?
We don't hear those stories enough.
No, the thing about it is that if you research what it takes to come over and get any type of even work visa in another country, They put you through we just let everybody in, no questions asked.
That's kind of what it is now. That I was going to bring that up. The guy I'm working for is pissed. He's a Russian immigrant, and he's kind of pissed that people are just now being basically welcomed right in. And he's like, yo, I had to study. Think of that. You got to study another country's history. Like Russia ain't teaching them no American history at all. So you got to come over here and learn a complete history before you can you have to take a test. And on that, it'll, when was the Declaration of Independence signed? They're going to have those kind of questions. Where does the president live? You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to learn a whole new history. And his thing is now people are kind of getting this skate right in, and he felt like he had to earn it. That is kind of fucked up as well.
Well, even people that go the legit, right, like he's pissed. Like I know people that have like paid all the lawyers and the fees and the years that they waited to get legally over here. And the thing about it is too, is that they don't realize that so many people come over here and just integrate into the system, and you never see them. You tell them, oh,
they're ghosts. Ghosts to the system.
They ghost out, right? So, that's we're the laughing stock. Just go over and cross the border.
It's more of these fucking bullshit systems that are in place. You know what I mean? It's like, we should have a system. We should have a system in place that we can trust. That if we're bringing over and it doesn't have to just be America, because London and England has been taking on a lot of immigrants. Germany, it's not just America. This is happening all over the fucking place. Germany, UK, there's huge Middle Eastern immigration to these places. These systems should be in place where we bring people in, and before you're a citizen, you should be vetted. And before that, we should be. Is there someone that's running? What are you coming to this country from? Are you running from crime, or are you running from war?
That's my point.
We can't just give you citizenship. Now you're just a U.S. citizen, have the same rights as everybody else, and you got here yesterday.
Just investigate. If you and I'm only using Mexico as an example because that's what I read up about. In Mexico, if you apply to become a citizen of Mexico, the hoops and the documentation that you have to provide is ridiculous. But it's required.
I've heard people. I've seen a story, maybe Vice.
It's not that it's ridiculous.
People are doing that.
I'm talking. It's about they pull your before you can even step foot on their soil. They're pulling. Have you been arrested? Are you a pedophile? Are you a drug dealer? Are you a this? I mean, they're pulling.
I've seen a story where they're talking about people from lower parts of Texas that live, work and live in Texas, are now moving to Mexico. Right. Because it's cheaper to live. So they'll just each day they'll drive from Mexico to El Paso or wherever they're going. I mean, that's the thing that's really changed a lot, and people don't realize Americans, we're some driving motherfuckers for our jobs. I know people that drive an hour and a half each direction. That's 11 hours of your day, counting your 8-hour workday. That's half a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I used to do that.
I know plenty of people that do that. Oh, I work an hour away. So you work 50 miles away? That's what we do now.
I work. Yep.
I know people that used to drive to the city during the week. Friday, they didn't work Friday. Friday, they would drive back home. So they'd just be home on the weekend. Friday, they had their own house. I mean, Monday to Friday, they had a house where they worked, and then on the weekend they went home.
Well, when you think about these other places like Denmark and Switzerland and places like that
it's
that a majority.
I mean, listen, when the systems, the owners of the systems are criminals, what do we expect? That's kind of the way I look at it. We got about 8 more minutes left in the show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Convos, Murph, Kellz, Pamela J. Appreciate you guys kicking ass in the chat tonight. You really have.
Yeah, everybody's making great points. I'm telling you, John Illuminati has some great. He has some really, really great points. I love it when he puts his 2 cents in, because it really, you may not. And I'm saying you may not, some people may not agree with what he has to say, but it makes you have an aha moment. Like,
all I say is, all it should really do, if I always said this, even especially about John, because that's always a crazy conspiracy theory, but why can't you take what he says and research it yourself?
exactly. That's what I
That's how I
do.
look at it. That's how I look at it, because then I'm either coming back and I'm speaking to you as an equal on the topic. I've educated myself. Or
Right.
I'm proving, or I'm going to find through that research that you're wrong, and I can prove you to be wrong. So it's like, why just take what someone says instead of losing your mind that he said something, absorb it, and do your research on it.
Anything that he's ever said, I've just taken and looked at it and said, you know what? That's an excellent point. Or,
well, people on YouTube are impulsive. It's yell, boom, scream, boom. My bad. No, it ain't your bad. Calm the fuck down, and you wanted to scream at somebody for no fucking reason.
Or you can respectfully agree to disagree. Who cares?
Exactly.
You know, he may have a valid point, and then I may have a valid point. But he makes some excellent points.
But that's what I said. It always goes to that. You know, people go, "Oh, you're crazy." And it's like, I'm not, even if I thought a motherfucker
he's not
was,
crazy. No, he's
but
not
even
crazy.
if I thought someone was, I'm taking what you said and researching it myself. Like, I'm never gonna, even if I agreed with every word out of John's mouth, I'm gonna research myself.
Exactly.
Because that's me. That's just me. And that's what I think people should do.
That's me
Nowadays,
too,
it's like, you know, they tell you something and everyone believes it. Oh, did you see the video of Biden talking to the little girl? Yeah, it came out the day after he rapped Rapper's Delight. I don't think he did either. Like, they're using technology. You show me Monday, they can use technology to make anybody's voice do anything. They have Johnny Cash doing Barbie Girl.
Well,
but then you want me to believe the next video I see with audio. I have to say both are bullshit now because you just showed me the other thing. You can't show me you can't show me a basketball court where a whale jumps out the fucking ground and it looks real, and then be like Operation Bluebeam sounds fake.
Yeah,
I thought it sounded fake too until I seen that fucking whale jump out the floor out of lights.
I mean, we need people like John Illuminati out here pushing this and making people think.
That's what Convos is all about. We need everybody. We need all opinions.
Yes, you know what?
This is what society is supposed to be based off of. All opinions, adding together, bouncing off each other.
Yep, and he's very respectful to me in the chats and everything. I just look what he says, and I really like it when he has input. You know, so I mean, all of us collectively
appreciate Streets too. He may have fell asleep. I know it's late as shit over there, so we appreciate all of our UK family, especially we were roasting them.
The UK family too. Yeah, Scotland has a lot of great input too.
And that's the crazy part. You know, Tam said earlier, I was saying here. And it's like, yeah, it's not even just us anymore. That's the thing. Like the shit we complain about, people in Canada, people in the UK, people in Australia are like, yeah, same shit here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so when I'm supposed to say, oh, people are crazy for thinking there's a plan in place for a one world government. Motherfucker, the proof is out the door.
I know. Right?
I don't think they're that crazy when everybody's doing the same shit. Guess what? There was a protest in all 50 states and like 30 countries after George Floyd died, right? There was like protests. We're not talking riots, we're talking protests. All 50 US states, other like 25 other countries. That's an impactful fucking thing in the history books if you think about it. Now, if we start looking in, how come every fucking place, no matter if it was St. Louis or fucking Shanghai, what happened? Cops beat the fuck out of everybody who was protesting. When motherfuckers are rioting, you don't see a single cop. Where's cops at when they're rioting?
Yeah.
They're beating the fuck out of them protesters, though. I got a picket sign. I'm worse than the guy who threw the brick through the store. Gotcha, officer. That's just, like I said,
you got to think about he's got to go home to his family too, man. And if the government's not going to back him, then it's like, why should I put my life on the line?
I get it. And like I said, I understand the cops that are fucking quitting. Like I said, the guy I know who quit. I get it, dude. There's other forms of work out there that you don't got to feel as compromised about.
Scotland's
you ain't got to feel as worried about.
Scotland heard us complimenting him, so I guess he graced us back.
Yeah, his fucking
we were talking
British
about
senses started tingling. My Brit senses.
It's been a really, really great show tonight. I mean, just
Definitely.
all the subjects that we talked about. You know, Eva, honey, you know what? I'll pray for you, and that something good comes your way, because you're a single mom, you're a great person, and it's people like you that deserve, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I feel the same way. Like, I know there's a few in the community. I'm not, not naming no names, that you deserve a fucking break. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I look at it. There's a couple really good people out here, and it's like, you deserve a fucking break, man. This shit is.
Yeah. She makes a good comment. She makes a comment too. I mean, her grandma was 94. Great Depression. They had their. I mean, I guess every generation goes through it, but you would think.
That's what I'm saying. It's 100 years after the fucking Depression. Shouldn't we be like a little further ahead with certain things?
Well, I'm telling you, my mom and aunts used to tell me they would have to wait in line and get a bag of potatoes. And when I was growing up,
JMS, us too. Eva, definitely. Mr. Rhonda, all y'all. Great conversation tonight.
You can make anything out of potatoes, man. They would just like.
Every Irish person knows that shit.
Every Irish person knows that. Potato pancakes, potato this, potato that, potato sandwich, potato this.
Vodka comes from potatoes.
I used to always say, why do we eat so many potatoes? And it was Great Depression women that were cooking the food for us.
The recipes, that's where they were coming from.
That's what they were used to, right?
They were doing fusion shit before it was trendy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
shit, you would never think.
They were adding fucking mixing this and then sausage in the mashed potatoes to make it. And they're like, sausage? That's Italian. They're like, trust me, it's good. You know what I mean? So
potatoes.
It's just time stay as much as shit changes, it really does stay the same. So, but yeah, guys, another amazing episode. We definitely got to do as many convos as we can, because they are always so much fun.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. And like I think that that's a good point too, that John come up on the panel one night, just like maybe people could like ask questions or whatever. Yeah,
definitely. Anyone's always, as I always say, after we're done the intros and the hellos and we start flowing in conversation, someone wants to come up any night, 8 to 10. That's all it is. I know other shows go long. We'll go a few minutes overtime on combos, but I like to keep it 2 hours. You know what I mean? I think I like to keep things a little more professional somewhat. So
exactly. So everybody
wants to come up anytime. I told Haas that when we spoke with him a few weeks ago. John's always welcome. Like I said, we all own the right to say who we don't want. And there's only a short list of people most of them aren't really in the chat. They might be here in the bushes.
Well, you know what? It's
really
just, I mean, hopefully people read the room and know that we're just a collective group of people that want to just discuss
hanging out,
events
trying
or
to
whatever.
Understand. Exactly.
Just each other. So I want to take the time to just say thanks everybody for coming. And I think it's a great group of people that we can, exchange ideas and stuff with. And it was another great show. And I thank Murph and Kellz for providing the platform, and I just want to wish everybody well. Have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you so much for that, sis. We greatly appreciate you.
Yes, I love you guys both very much.
We already know,
the chat.
sis.
Okay, all right, bye.
Thank you. Okay, hey guys, another great fucking, like I said, give yourselves a round of applause in the chat. I say that often, but don't undersell that. You guys really kicked some ass in here tonight. A great interaction. You guys had your own little conversations going where we're flowing. Makes it a little easier. I know some content creators don't like that. They want you involved. But it does make it easier for me with energy like tonight, because at points I wasn't looking at the chat. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm flowing, and me and Tammy and Kellz were just bouncing these ideas. I'm not even really looking at my phone. I'm engrossed. So just salute to you guys. Like I said, please give yourselves a round of applause. To all those, make sure you're hitting us up on Instagram or by email. We do a music show Sunday mornings. It is subscription-based. It is private. We send the link through Instagram or email. So reach out to us. The info is going across the screen. And as I said, guys, thank you to everybody who contributed a dollar, a moment of their time, good vibes, anything. We will see you again next Tuesday, if not Sunday, for Nostalgic. Me and Queen Kellz will be right back with a final goodbye after this motherfucking outro. Good show.
Often imitated, never duplicated. DirtyKenzoproductions.
We got Nat in the building. I said earlier, one of the only good imports, exports out of Canada. Nat, hockey, Tam. I think that was it. Now, for Pamela J, Queen Kellz, I'm Murph, aka the Dirty Kenzo. Thank you guys again for an amazing show. You guys are great. We will see you again soon. This ends our, Dirty Kenzo. Let me take a breath. Stop. Think about it. Convos is a production of Dirty Kenzo Productions. This ends our broadcast day. Appreciate y'all. See you next time. Peace.
Bye.